And your midweek political check-in, broadcasting live on the Really American Media platform. We're slogging through another political swamp, thick with nonsense and bad intentions.
Yeah.
Let's cut through the poo-poo and throw a little light on the chaos before it buries us all. We don't care if you chew gum during the podcast, but no blowing bubbles. All righty then, without further ado, here's Nick and Bubbles. Steve. Holy moly. Take it away, gentlemen.
And we're all ready to go. Look at that. Just a couple of minutes after that 3 o'clock hour here on the West Coast, a live program, The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Back yet again. And yes, we are live. And we're like a good rock concert. They may say they're starting at 8, but they always come out a few minutes late. We got to get the crowd ready. Everyone's standing by.
Exactly.
Fun.
Yeah. And we got a ton of shit to get to today. I started this day off and I was like, God, man, I'm just kind of pounding this news cycle for something to talk about. And even we talked and I was like, oh, it's kind of boring today. How pathetic is that, dude? When I actually stood back and thought about the fact that not really anything exciting to talk about today. That's bullshit, for crying out loud.
It is crazy. And as of yet, I did not do a solo video on Really American today because I don't do stories about believing them, so nothing there. But perhaps today's headline should be Nick hates Ireland.
Why do you say that, dude?
Not down with St. Patrick's Day? What the hell, man?
Of course I am. Why would you say that?
I don't see you wearing green. You got green underwear on?
This whole shirt is green, dude.
What are you talking about? Then your camera's way off because it looks pretty blue to me.
Well, there's blue lines and then green squares. You can't see that that's
Really?
a green square. Yeah.
No, you're phoning it in. That looks like blue and black.
I assure you it's green, and my watch band is green. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it's not military olive drab green like you're wearing, but it's green.
I am wearing my Smokey Bear says keep a green shirt.
Yeah.
And yes, my green grunge flannel that I'm required to wear. So
yeah, that's more brown, that flannel.
No, it's green. Perhaps your eyes are off. I don't know that you're wearing much green, and I definitely am. So if you think this is brown, then we got problems.
Hey, dude, did you hear Trump put out a memo today that banned people from wearing green in the White House today?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he was all about wanting to be able to pinch the women. You know,
Yeah.
True story.
I think this is a setup to a joke.
True
Just
story.
Go with it. Yeah. True story. Thumbs up to that, I say.
Yes,
please give this channel one of these in this video. Okay.
Your little butt plug statue, you got it ready to go.
My son gave me that, so I don't know why you have to say that.
Oh. Did he know what it was?
Yes, it's a thumbs up. Not because he wants us all to like our videos. He said it's the favorite emoji of mine that I always send him. So.
That's true. You do. I get that a lot from you. So,
yeah, well, thumbs up.
Yeah, well, there will be no pinching here. I'm by myself in this studio, but I am wearing green, and welcome to St. Patty's Day. Live program, and we are ready to get some fantastic news on the airwaves.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Steve Harness.
Yes, praising Steve Harness and singing his name.
I think I'm going out for Guinness tonight. I haven't had one in years, but I just have this inkling today. And I know it's a very American thing, St. Patrick's Day, but I'm feeling it, so I think I shall be doing it.
Interesting. Well, good for you, dude. Remember, you can only drink one because, well, they're just so damn filling.
I was thinking of a shot and a beer and just stumbling home and having some Tuesday night fun, you know what I mean?
I used to drink a drink when I was younger, and I didn't know it was a racist name. Do you know what I'm talking about? The
Irish car bomb?
Yes, you're not supposed to say that anymore. It's really racist to say that.
Is Irish a race? I'm not sure if that's racist. Might be prejudiced. I don't know if it's racist.
I don't know exactly. It's not right to say. You should never say it, dude. Okay?
Well, I mean, it's making light of terrorist attacks and whatnot, so that could be, yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't do my research on that. I'm sure somebody will chime in on the chat and tell me, but I ordered one at a bar maybe like a year ago.
Yeah,
and I was
in Seattle.
Yeah, in Seattle.
Lefty liberal. Yeah.
And it was an immediate, like, head back, eyebrow up, like, and I was like, oh, you guys don't sell them or you guys don't do them here? It was like, you can't say that, dude. You realize what you just said?
Wow. So what is it? An Irish love bomb?
Maybe that's a better way to put it, I guess, you know. But you know what? Have you ever had one?
No, I think it's disgusting to blend the two. I mean, I know what it is. It's a shot inside a beer, but I don't want my shot in beer like intermixing.
Let me tell you this, dude, that I know your palate when it comes to drinking. You would love this thing.
Because it takes the bitter out of the beer?
I mean, at the end of the day, it ends up tasting like almost a milkshake, and it just goes down so fast. I mean, you really should try one because it gets you pretty effed up if you have a few of them, and you can drink them very quickly.
Well, I'm in Trump country, so I bet ordering one of those would be just fine at the neighborhood bar.
Probably beyond the house, dude.
Right. All right. We'll see. All right. Speaking of Trump world, we're starting off today's fine broadcast with the, I don't know, the erosion of the base, a little infighting, a little MAGA v. MAGA. It's as if they crashed on an island and they're eating each other.
Yes, and we love to talk about it when it happens, dude, because, well, we've been unlucky at seeing it happen, but it's happening, baby. And
It is.
it's fun to watch.
We have two that are more trivial. It's Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson. We'll get to them second and third, or third and second, or whatever. But
Yeah.
let's start off with the big one today. The wait, what? No mixing. Oh, someone says the car bomb thing is not good. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll judge that later. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't let me. I'm getting distracted by drinking. Okay, anyways, the big news today that came out this morning was that Joe Kent, who most of us have probably never heard of, but he was one of the higher ups in Tulsi Gabbard's national security world, and he quit today and threw Trump right under the old bus.
Yeah. You want to watch a little news report on his resignation, or
I do. Yes.
let's do that now.
This morning, we just learned, get this, the director of the National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, has just announced he's resigning. CNN national security reporter Zachary Cohn is joining us right now. Zachary, what more can you tell us about this dramatic development?
Yeah, Wolf, this
Why
appears to
aren't
be a
you agreeing?
significant resignation at the senior-most levels of the Trump intelligence community. This is Joe Kent. He was the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. He posting on X a resignation letter that he submitted, citing misgivings over the Trump administration's decision to launch its war with Iran. Now, Kent, in this letter, writes in part, quote, as a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife, Shannon, in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people, nor justifies the cost of American lives. Now, Kent, in his apparent post on X, does also seem to suggest that there was no imminent threat, that it has been used and cited by the Trump administration as justification for launching this war against Iran. He says that essentially, the administration manufactured this idea of an imminent threat, and that is part of the reason why he is deciding to resign.
He seems to have all the qualifications to talk shit on this war.
Yeah, and I don't think he implied that there was no imminent threat. He pretty much said it.
Yeah.
And, this guy is a mega loyalist. He spouted some of the 2020 election, the denialism stuff. He's been a good loyal trooper. And within minutes, he's now some weak loser, terrible person, should have been fired already. The entire mega world is immediately trying to throw this guy under the bus.
Well, yeah, they've got to follow their dear leader. And Trump was asked, I believe this was in the Oval Office, what he, thought about this resignation. This is what he had to say.
Director of National Counterterrorism, Joe Kent, he just resigned today. He said he can't support your conflict with Iran. What's your reaction to that? And did you?
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security. I didn't know him well, but I thought he seemed like a pretty nice guy.
He said he was
But when I read his statement, I realized that it's a good thing that he's out, because he said that Iran was not a threat. Iran was a threat. Every country realized what a threat Iran was. The question is whether or not they wanted to do something about it.
That's not true. And you're talking about a guy who has actually boots on the ground. I mean, he's been deployed, what did that say, 11 times?
Yeah, no, he's got the creds.
He's weak?
Yes. So Trump said he's weak. Mike Johnson said, I don't know where Joe Kent is getting his information. Well, he's part of the national security apparatus, so I would assume he's probably getting it at work.
Yeah, here's Mikey Johnson talking about him, and he said he must have not been in any of these frickin' briefings that I was in.
I don't know where Joe Kent is getting his information, but he wasn't in those briefings clearly, because the Secretary of State, the Secretary of War, and everyone, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane, they had exquisite intelligence, and we understood that this was a serious moment for us. We all understood there was clearly an imminent threat, that Iran was very close to the enrichment of nuclear capability, and they were building missiles at a pace that no one in the region could keep up with.
What? I thought we obliterated all of that just a few months ago. How does Mike Johnson, who claims to be religious, just lie through his fucking teeth like that?
I mean, he is A1 bootlicker. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Dude, all these people we talk a lot about cosplay when it comes to the MAGA world. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is cosplay too. He's not a Christian, dude. You know, all these people that are backed by being a Christian, and, it's bullshit, dude. It's all bullshit.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked last show or two about, racist text messages going around with some of these groups. I've got another story on that topic we'll get to in a bit. But no, they just blow with the wind, that the hot air coming out of Trump's ass. And so, yeah, I mean, the obvious question to me is, if this guy was weak, if he was a loser, let's see, Laura Loomer said he was a notorious leaker. This is Laura Loomer. This is, of course, a neo-Nazi talking point. When Kent ran for Congress, you recall, he was exposed for associating with neo-Nazis, which cost him his election, yet somehow he was still employed in Trump's, upper echelon. So this weak loser, neo-Nazi, then why was he employed up until 30 seconds ago? And now, just in the last hour or two, they're all trying to blame Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, we told her to fire that guy. I don't know why. Does the buck ever stop with Trump?
No, of course not, dude. And this cabinet is full of neo-Nazis. I mean, Steve Bannon has been a part of this thing for a long time. I mean, it's just complete bullshit. And I don't know why, when Trump was talking about him, nice guy, from what I thought he was a nice guy. Like, he said it twice. Don't really know him.
Don't know him.
Talking about Epstein, or we're talking about Kent here, dude.
It is so fucking pathetic. But I mean, on one level, I hate. It's just, again, we're getting into this like Marjorie Taylor Greene territory of, I hate to commend someone who has been a sycophant enabler for all of this time. Yeah. But better late than never, I suppose. So he did put his money where his mouth is. He did quit, and he did not do it subtly. And yeah, like you said, he is someone in the know and said there was no imminent threat. And fuck you, Mike Johnson. Like Tom Cotton said last week or 2 weeks ago, Iran has been an imminent threat for 47 years.
No.
Tells me he does not know what the word imminent means.
Exactly. This is, you know what? This is a war that Bibi Netanyahu has been trying to get anyone to do for a long time. And like we said last week, Trump's just the dumbest one, dumb enough to go ahead and do it. I thought that Joe Kent made a great point of, you know what? I've been to the Middle East. I fought. I lost my wife on Gold Star, dude. And I can't in good conscience send your kids over to fight this war that means nothing. It's another Vietnam, dude. You know?
I mean, in good conscience, he was okay with what ICE has been doing and all the other lies Trump has been telling. So I don't know if this tells you like how terrible it is if that guy that put up with all that has finally reached his breaking point, or just how terrible of a human you are. And this was somehow like, there's probably a little anti-Semitism going on there. This whole thing with Israel, there are some people like this guy who was apparently a neo-Nazi sympathizer that are just like, if Israel talked us into this, then I don't care. I'm breaking ranks with MAGA. I don't want anything to do with it. And I will say, I'm not trying to like side with neo-Nazis by any freaking means, but I have always defended Israel because they've always been an ally of ours. But in the last year here, I mean, fuck Israel with the genocide in Gaza and manipulating Trump and talking him into this war. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with Netanyahu anymore, but yeah, fuck the guy.
Yes. No, 100%. It's become this really... I don't know, cancel culture wise, a dangerous thing to go against Israel. Yeah, I think there's enough people now that are like, you know what? First of all, he ran on America first. He's all signs are pointing to this is not America first. And I know you've tried to make it that way by saying it was an imminent threat and everything else. But this is totally Israeli war. I mean, we're just stepping in for whatever reason. I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm not sure what the ultimate final answer is, but somehow it seems that Lady Lindsey Graham and Israel have convinced him to do this. And I was reading a story today that over the last week or two, that his upper people have given him multiple exit ramps. Like, sir, if you want to be done with this, here's a way to get out of this. And he keeps refusing to do it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Trump seems to keep thinking, and Hegseth has said it, like, this war is on our terms. Like, war really doesn't work that way. Like, even if Trump says today, like, all right, we're done bombing, victory, we're done, doesn't mean Iran's going to be done. Doesn't mean you have not just lit a fire over there with new leadership and that they're not going to still keep coming after us. It's if it's a war, and it is, then it's not just up to one side to say, all right, we're done. It's like, you know, you beat the shit out of someone on the playground, and just because you walk away doesn't mean he's not going to run up behind you and hit you over the head with a rock.
You're 100% spot on. Peter Ducey, I think, asked Trump, I don't know, a day or two ago, he was in the Oval Office, asked him, like, you said, you know, we have obliterated Iran. You know, they have no military, they have no leaders, they have no missiles. They are essentially just, you know, sitting ducks. Can't this war be over then? He was like, yeah. Trump said, probably could be. And he was like, well, are you going to end it? And he was like, I don't think so. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. And by the way, you gave us, you know, this was, I love how he calls it an excursion. You just went on a cruise. You know what an actual excursion is, right? Like, this is not an excursion. And to say it that way is flipping crazy. But he said 4 weeks. We're ramping up to that. And now we're talking about other shit. We're talking about Hormuz. We're talking about getting other countries involved. Like, this is not ending in 4 weeks. This is not ending in 5 weeks.
Absolutely. If there's no Lido deck, then it's not an excursion.
That's right. Yes.
So, and yeah, we'll get back to Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson in a moment. But this whole contradiction thing that Trump is doing, where, yes, one day he's talking about it, the war is over, and the next day he's talking about keeping going, or even within the same fucking sentence. So let me just play this for you here. Here's Trump tripping on.
If we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time. We have some that are really enthusiastic. They're coming already. This isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys. If we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us. We want them to come and help us with the strait. My attitude is, we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them.
That is the same speech.
That is a great, I mean, that always works out good. Like, just in a marriage, like, I don't need you. Well, you know, I'm strong. I make my own money. We don't need you. Like,
I mean, where are my socks at?
Right, yes. Right. You find out very quickly how often you need other people.
And this is why you build a coalition before you attack somebody, not after, and especially not after you've been shitting all over them for the past year, Reagan on NATO and trying to take a NATO ally in Greenland, like, and now you start a fire and you're the kid standing in the field like, I didn't think this blaze was getting out of control. Somebody called the fire department. Like the boy that cried idiocracy.
Yes, 100%. And you're right. I mean, this has been a few short weeks of him and the rest of his cabinet speaking in circles of this is a war. In the same sentence, this isn't a war. You know, that type of shit. They don't know what it is themselves.
No, because Trump didn't know, so no one else knows how to defend his insanity. And I think this was kind of funny, too, related to that. So Trump freaked out yesterday and today about where are all our allies. And I told you if we needed them, they wouldn't be there for us. Like, they would be there for us like 9/11. Like, if we got invaded and we needed support, they would be there. Or if we went to them and said we need to build a coalition to take down Iran or Venezuela, like if we made the case, of course they would be there. But as several of them have said in the last 24 hours, like, we didn't start this war. This isn't our mess. You clean it up. Like, it's insanity. But Lady Lindsey Graham, did you see this? He posted something on X today and had to immediately delete it.
No, what was it?
Yeah, so Senator Lindsey Graham posted and then immediately deleted on social media Tuesday, sharing details of a conversation he had just moments earlier with President Trump, who, according to Graham, was absolutely furious over his pleas for other countries to aid his Iran war effort and the fact that it's being ignored. He posted, quote, "Just spoke to President Trump about our European allies' unwillingness to provide assets to keep the Strait of Hormuz functioning, which benefits Europe far more than America. I have never heard him so angry in my life. I share that anger given what's at stake," which, of course, makes Trump look weak and infant and childish. So someone called him and said, delete that fucking thing right now. But it's the internet. You can't delete stuff, really.
Yeah. We've got too many people that are quick on the draw to take screenshots of that shit. It's never going away.
Right. So he is throwing a little temper tantrum behind the scene that people aren't coming to his aid. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Because like you just said in that little montage, which was all from the same interview, that, yeah, I mean, we've got the greatest army in the world, which is, you know, arguably true. So what do you need help for?
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I've got some video on the Strait of Hormuz if we want to get into it, or if we want to get into Kid Rock first and get back to it, we can.
Well, we're on the topic, so let's do that. Kid Rock can wait.
All right.
Play with his ba with the ba.
We will get to Kid Rock. Just be patient. This is Caroline Levitt being asked about the Strait of Hormuz.
President Trump says that other countries should now step up to safeguard ships in the Straits of Hormuz. Why should other countries that weren't consulted about this war, that aren't involved in this war, now put their troops in harm's way in the Strait of Hormuz?
Because these other countries are benefiting greatly from the United States military taking out the threat of Iran. The rogue Iranian regime has long not just posed a threat to the United States of America, but of course to our Gulf and Arab partners in the region. As you see, I believe Iran has struck more than 300 civilian targets in the Gulf region. If you think about Europe, their ballistic missile capability that the United States military is currently wiping out was a direct and imminent threat to our European allies as well as our bases in the region, which is why President Trump took this action in the first place. So these countries are absolutely benefiting from ensuring that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. This is something not just the United States, but the entire Western world has agreed with for many, many years. So I think the president is absolutely right to call on these countries to do more, to help the United States to reopen the Strait of Hormuz so that we can stop this terrorist regime from...
It's just all bullshit, dude. It's just all, and just even there, dude, she makes the point of like, maybe it was an imminent threat to somebody in Europe. This is America first, I thought. Like, it was not an imminent threat to us. They said, Caroline Levitt just said, they've killed over 300 people. Like, we did that in one bombing of an elementary school. We took out 150 little girls. So, who's the bad guy? You keep talking about that, Steve.
And again, if everything you said is true, then why wouldn't you make that case ahead of time? I mean, it's so obvious. And again, it's like saying, I go into Chicago and light a fire. So, hey, Chicago, it's to your benefit to put the fire out. Like, step it up here.
Right.
I mean, makes no sense.
President Trump was asked if he had talked to France about stepping in to help, and he had a really interesting answer, I thought. Or not interesting.
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I have spoken to him. He's been on a scale of 0 to 10. I'd say he's been an 8. Not perfect, but it's France.
We
don't expect perfect.
I
don't do a hard sell on them because my attitude is we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But it's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases, not because we need them, but because I want to find out how they react. Because I've been saying for years that if we ever did need them, they won't be there. Not all of them, but they won't be there.
So you're just fucking around playing games with the international war, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he just admitted, like, hey, I don't really need them. I just want to see if they'll step up. Like, that's psycho boyfriend high school shit. Like, I just want to see I want to see if she'll cheat if she gets hit on. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to lay in the street bleeding just to see which of my neighbors cares enough to come out and help me. Like, don't get run over in the meantime.
And Peter Ducey, God love Peter Ducey at times. He stands up and he says, you talk about the fact that they are depleted, and why not just opening the Strait of Hormuz up?
Now that you've announced that the U.S. has destroyed all of Iran's mine-laying ships, why can't the U.S. just immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Good question.
Well, we could, but it takes two to tango. We have to get people to take their $1 billion ship and drive it up.
Yep.
If when Pepe has his big sugar ships coming around and they cost $1 billion, and we say, I think it's okay now, Pepe, take your ship, drive it through the Strait of Hormuz. He may say, let me wait a little while, because it takes ship owners, and these ships are very expensive.
Yeah,
they could cost up to $2 billion.
Yeah,
so they don't want to take a chance that, gee, I think you'll be okay. They got to know it. So they don't have to set. We don't know if they even set any mines, but the thought that they may have is enough to keep people from saying, we don't need it.
You've got great intel, dude. And you're basically saying there, like, we took all their shit out. They don't have anything left. You're telling them you don't even believe yourself enough to put a ship through. They don't want to put a ship through because, what if I'm wrong? You are wrong. You don't even know what you're saying is true.
Yes. Trump is debating Trump. I mean, within these own little answers, like, it's safe, but it's not safe. These people don't want to take the risk. Well, then why don't you send some of your ships through? Why don't you put the whole Trump family on one of your luxury yachts and send them down the strait? And if they make it through, then maybe Exxon will take the gamble too. But yes, these are major companies with huge, expensive boats, and they all are insured, by the way. And these insurance companies are telling these oil companies, like, we're not paying for that ship if you take it through right now and it blows up. So now the oil companies like, our insurance isn't going to cover this. Like, again, Trump, you started all of this. Don't start none, won't be none. So you better find a fucking way to fix all of this. But like I just said, like, just him being done does not mean this is done. The entire area is going to be destabilized for months, if not years, after whenever we decide that this is done.
Just think about that, dude. So he doesn't want to send any of our ships through. Then God most certainly doesn't want to send any of those oil tankers through, because that's all his frickin' money. So he's actually not calling on other countries to step up and help us. He's calling on other countries to take your boat down, dude. We'll see what happens to you, and then hopefully everything will be all right.
Right. Yeah, I agree, by the way. People are saying in the comment, like, send Israeli ships through there. Like, we did this for their benefit. Let them be the first to walk through the minefield and make sure it's all good now.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, utter freaking insanity. And this is the world we are living in.
100%, dude. People are wondering, Steve, how in the hell does Kid Rock tie into the Strait of Hormuz? How does it tie into Joe Kent? How does it tie in?
Yes, Kid Rock. Well, back on the topic of the sort of mega base eroding and infighting and going after each other, like, this reminds me of the MAGA movement, okay? So all of these people went and supported Trump because RFK was coming, and they want, pesticides gone, and they want food dyes gone, and they were promised that would happen. They pledged their loyalty, and then, oops, when it comes down to it, Trump just signed away, making it easier to put pesticides out there, making it not taking food dyes out of it. Like, you fucking idiots had your little pet project. You thought he was going to go against big business and side with you? Of course.
No.
So the same thing is happening with Kid Rock. You may recall a year ago, Kid Rock joined Trump in the Oval Office to sign an executive order about a really legitimate issue, and that is Live Nation and Ticketmaster fucking all of us at concerts.
Yes, and the monopoly that it might cause for them, to join forces. When Live Nation and Ticketmaster were saying like, oh, it's not gonna cause issues. This is actually going to be a good thing. Kid Rock did go testify in front of Congress, I believe, and talked about this a little bit. Watch this video of Kid Rock dressed appropriately to go and testify.
My name is Robert Ritchie, PKA Kid Rock. I'm proud to say I've been packing arenas, amphitheaters, and stadiums with the greatest fans on earth for over 25 years. I'm also a capitalist. I'm here today because I love God. I love this country. I love live
God
music and
have to do with
sports.
it?
And I believe music fans and artists have been getting screwed for far too long by the ticketing system. I'm in a unique position to testify because, unlike most of my peers, I am beholden to no one. No record companies, no managers, no corporate endorsements or deals.
I don't know if those are bragging rights, dude. Right. No one pays me to do anything.
No record company wants me.
No, I don't have any endorsements.
To put it plainly, I ain't scared. I ain't scared to speak out on these issues like many artists, managers, and agents are for fear of biting the hand that feeds them. Secondary ticketing is driving up prices for the fans with absolutely no benefit to the artist. Needless to say, that experiment has failed miserably. Independent venues have been crushed. Artists have lost leverage. Fans are paying more than ever. Should Ticketmaster and Live Nation be broken up? Probably. Yes. Would that alone fix things? Not sure it would. Now, meanwhile, the problem has been addressed with much success overseas. In parts of Europe, resale ticket prices are capped, and it seems to be working. I've been advocating for a 10% price cap here in the States on the resale of a ticket. So I'll close now with the words of one of my favorite rock bands, The Who, and say it is my sincere hope we won't get fooled again. Thank you.
Here's my quote from The Who to Kid Rock. Who are you? Who? Who are you? Is this 99?
That's gold, dude. That was gold right there.
Well, listen, again, broken clocks right twice a day. Kid Rock is correct. Ticketmaster and Live Nation do have a monopoly. They are fucking us all over. Did you see some of these text messages that came out from this, DOJ lawsuit that was going on?
I didn't see him. I've got Kid Rock talking about it to Fox. So, yeah, I just saw it on that video. I didn't see him.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to play, but they're all laughing at us behind our backs for paying for the ticket prices and venues and parking.
Yeah, let's see what this is.
Name me one other business that doesn't control their inventory. Let's start there. And then come to find out the other day, these people were exposed. Not only exposed for what they've been doing for years, which I said there's a lot of corruption and fraud going on, and I employed Congress to go subpoena contracts between buildings, artists, managers, everybody. Now it comes out verbatim that the DOJ released, they're screwing my fans. Let me just preface this by saying, the trolls and media and everybody, they can come after me all they want. I could care less, sticks and stones. Yeah. You come after my fans who are arguably outside of our military, the best this country has to offer, hardworking people who just want to have fun, and they're laughing about screwing them over, charging them $250 to park, doing this stupid platinum ticketing thing where they're raping them for $1,200 a ticket. So I can make a couple more extra bucks. I mean, this is a joke, and people are pissed off about it. And I don't know. I'm just doing what I can. I'm sorry, man. I'm fired up this morning, man.
Yeah. Listen, he's correct. I mean, these messages they were laughing about. We'll charge you $50 to park on this piece of grass, or $80 to park on grass slightly closer to the venue. Like they were laughing about gouging people, and you experienced it. Like, a Dave Matthews ticket here in America. I've bought them before, $200, $300, $400, maybe $500. When you saw Dave Matthews in Europe, what were tickets over there?
Yeah, I think, like I said, not only did I sit on the rail, which for those who don't know, right up on the stage, I think I paid $60 a ticket.
Yes.
I know I've already bought my tickets to go to the Gorge this summer, and those tickets are, I think I get I see 3 shows, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're $150 for the whole weekend for a ticket, which is really cheap in my opinion. Yeah. But for parking, Just to be a little bit closer, I paid $385.
Right. It is fucking outrageous. They are screwing us over. I heard Nikki Glazer, comedian, talking about going to see Taylor Swift in Europe because it's more affordable to fly over there and only pay $40 for the ticket than it is to try to, if you can even get the tickets to, here. And I just went through this with Metallica at the Sphere. Like the sale goes, it immediately sells out instantaneously. It's on the second market stuff. Prices are skyrocketing. So listen, Nick and I are music fans and all that, so I could rant about this all day, but Kid Rock is correct about that. It is one of the reasons he supported Trump. It was why he was in the Oval Office signing the executive order. And yeah, Kid Rock is pissed off. Said, I don't understand why they would negotiate a settlement. Why not just let it see its course? Let's see what 12 people decide. Because, the Department of Justice, and this predates Trump, were going after Live Nation for monopolistic practices.
Yeah.
And for some fucking reason, the DOJ, Trump's DOJ, who we know is just in his back pocket, shocked observers last week by capitulating to Live Nation. They're required to pay out a $280 million settlement. This is a $1 billion plus company.
Right.
And that $280 million will be split amongst 39 different states. And it leaves the core of the company intact. Trump's DOJ just gave them a slap on the wrist and is going to let them keep screwing us over because Trump will always side with big business.
Yeah, there's been no breakup here, just a 15% fee cap, which I guess is something. Some venue sales that won't, some venue sales is what they have picked up on, but not all. They haven't done anything for us here at all. And like you said, why? Because somewhere in all of this, Trump's making money. Some people in the DOJ are making money. I mean, it's just what's happening here.
Right. And Tracy, I see your point. She says artists could change it if they all cared. True and not true. I mean, the problem with the Live Nation monopoly is they own a bunch of these concert venues. And in Lake Tahoe, I used to put on events. I put on a whole summer concert series. I had no choice but to use Ticketmaster because the venues have no choice but to use it. The art, I mean, it's a monopoly. It is spread across. And if you recall, Pearl Jam years ago declared that Ticketmaster was up to no good and they tried to go on their own. And it makes it 100 times harder because there is no infrastructure to support that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the problem with the monopoly. They've got it all.
And that was over 20 years ago that Pearl Jam did that.
Yes.
And things have just, gotten worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I mean, a bunch of artists could come together, I suppose, and, maybe build some new venues. I mean, it is an overhaul of a system that's already in place that is kind of unimaginable to try and take on, which is why it needed to be broken up by the DOJ.
Yes. And I will tell you, being the promoter from some of those shows, like selling your own tickets it's a nightmare. I mean, collecting the money and doing the ticket sales and the taxes and the returns and all that stuff, which is why, Live Nation has Ticketmaster, and then they have the venues, and then they partner with radio stations, and then it's a whole thing. So yeah. Again, we could spend all day talking on that topic. Point is, Trump said to Kid Rock, I'm signing this executive order. We're going to go after them. And now the DOJ just completely bent over. So, Kid Rock is pissed off, and I think that's hilarious. And I also think it's hilarious that Kid Rock only cares about shit that affects him, like a Ticketmaster sort of thing. He didn't care about ICE. He doesn't care about any of that stuff.
No, not. Yeah, that doesn't affect him. I did think it was really odd. He was like, next to soldiers, my fans are salt of the earth. They're the best.
What the fuck does that mean?
What are you talking about? And you're here because of God? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
And not to mention, he's trying to put this summer tour together, this MAGA festival that is underselling everywhere. One stop already got canceled. I mean, he's selling tickets for $1,000 up to $5,000. And he's sitting there going, Ticketmaster does these platinum level tiers. They're like, dude, you're doing the exact same fucking thing. And by the way, offering a platinum tier to somebody who can afford it and all, that is one thing. But for the masses, I'm a huge Metallica fan. I should be able to go online and buy tickets. I should not. By the way, like the first 2 rounds of pre-sale for Metallica, I was in the hundreds, number 300, number 400. There is no goddamn reason I should not have gotten at least a pair of tickets.
What does that venue hold? Do you know?
20,000.
And a couple of shows, right?
Yes.
2 shows. So yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's a whole residency, but I got in line for 1 show and I was number 300. So if everyone's 2 pair, I mean, even if someone was buying 4, I still should have gotten it. But the bots get in there. People are allowed to buy mass. I had the same problem with Foo Fighters a couple of years ago. And then, we ended up getting screwed on the secondhand market. The artist is not getting any of that extra money. And then, yes, the venues, the parking, all that. So, but yeah, it's hilarious that this was Kid Rock's little pet rock project. And Trump just fucked him over. And, Kid Rock wrote a set of fucking rocks, by the way, saying, I don't understand why they would negotiate a settlement. Why not just let it run its course? You'll blow up a case of Bud Light or Budweiser or whatever because they put a transhuman on there. Yeah. But with Trump, when he outright makes you look like a fool, you're just like, well, gee, why'd we do this? Why did
that doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense.
No. Yeah. So Fafo, Kid Rock, but I would like to laugh at him, but it fucks all of us over too. So not cool, DOJ.
Completely. We take it down to Kid Rock, and then we fall into the roots of Tucker Carlson with one more person that is leaving this MAGA train for a different station.
I think they just kicked his ass right off the train because, this is funny. I am becoming increasingly nervous, and you and I have talked about this, as far as like being anti-Trump, what the hell he can do to us exactly. Yeah. Because in the good old days, you couldn't just arrest somebody for no reason. But I was just reading about a woman who got released from ICE detention after 400 days being detained. No charges ever filed. They threw her in a fucking hole for 400 days and then just released her. And nothing will ever come of that. There will be no accountability. So there is nothing from stopping Trump from arresting you and me and claiming that we're Irish terrorists or something and throwing us in a hole. And by the time it works itself out, we will have wasted a year of our lives. Yeah. I thought auditing would be the biggest thing they could do. But no, they're doing shit like that. And now Tucker Carlson is accusing Trump's world of spying on him, spying on his text messages and emails. And I would like to say, Tucker, that's crazy, but I don't think it is crazy. I think Tucker is probably being sincere.
Yes, I think so, too. We already know that they've done that with other people that have come forward. I mean, even Dan Bongino came forward and said, oh, yeah, we were being spied on before I was ever even in thought to join the FBI with Kash Patel.
Yes.
So, we know what's happening. So, I don't doubt that at all. And think about that woman who was in the ICE detention facility for over 400 days. Most people, I guarantee you, haven't heard about that.
Right.
Because it's all just a slap on the wrist of like, we made an error, but we apologize and she's free now. And it's just, it's a nothing. Yeah,
there's too much going on. If a normal president had done that in a normal news cycle, it would be getting all of the attention. But how could you possibly? And then on top of this Tucker Carlson stuff, so get this. Representative Max Miller, Republican from Ohio, called for Tucker Carlson to be prosecuted if federal investigators find out that he has been a traitor. Treason is punishable by the death penalty. Oh, man. So Miller shared his blunt assessment of Carlson and the situation that he's in over the weekend here, one day after Carlson claimed that the Justice Department would soon charge him for being an unregistered foreign agent. Carlson said he was being targeted for talking to people in Iran before the war, which he said the CIA found out by spying on his text messages. So this Miller dude then posts on X. And again, this is like, if this is your opinion of the guy, why are you only saying this now? He says, everyone has always known Tucker is in love with himself and happy to sell falsehoods for attention. Which, again, yes, you're correct. Like everyone at Fox News, and I know Tucker's not there anymore, but of course he's willing to sell falsehoods for attention. And you just said that you've known that. Yet only now are you denouncing because Tucker is coming out against the Iran war.
And the problem is, dude, is that we have been saying that shit as something that's obvious for a long time. But if we just rewind to 2 years ago, you're talking about hard-hitting, honest news of Tucker Carlson,
Right.
and wouldn't ever say that, like, yeah, he wouldn't do anything for entertainment. This just goes to show it's one more level into the fact that you guys are full of shit.
Yes, and it's why he's not at Fox News anymore, by the way, because the whole Dominion lawsuit, like it came out that Tucker was, fully knowing he was lying to the audience. So he was the sacrificial lamb over there.
Yeah.
And by the way, Miller goes on in that post. He says, saying that he sells falsehoods for attention. The left excels at this. When Tucker fully joined them, it was just sad. What? No, fuck that. Membership rejected. He is not on the left. No. He's not claiming to be. But again, they just have to try to demonize him. So now all of a sudden, he's a lying, scammer, and he's on the left. And we all know what the left does to us. So
soon they'll say the same thing about Mike Lindell. The My Pillow guy is now on the left. They've accepted him into their community. They're sleeping on his pillows. This is not true. Tucker Carlson is obviously being more reasonable now than he's been ever, I think. I don't know. He used to be on CNN, if you look way back, but he's being more reasonable. He is not a leftist. He is not liberal. He is a staunch Christian and conservative person. You just don't want to listen to what he's saying now.
Of course. It's just, as we keep talking about the Venn diagram, like there is a little overlap with the left and the far right nowadays, because some of us on both sides, well, the left for sure, but some on the right are actually like, what Trump is doing is not okay, which makes for strange bedfellows, but that's what politics does. And Tucker says, quote, the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the DOJ on the basis of a supposed crime that I committed. What was the crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. He denies any wrongdoing. And, maybe he was doing something wrong. I don't know. But how would they know that if they weren't spying on him? But even if, they're just immediately throwing him under the bus, which I just find hilarious.
Yeah. Speaking of hilarious, I don't know if you got the chance to watch SNL. Our listeners, our viewers out there. Fantastic episode this past weekend. They had a skit on there that included Tucker Carlson. I just want to play like a minute of this because I don't even know what this guy's name is from SNL, but he did a spot on Tucker, and I thought it was hilarious.
He's one of the new cast. Yes.
Okay.
So good. Yeah.
All right. Here it is.
Let's all go to the movies. Huh. Really? Yes. Why don't we grab some popcorn and watch American culture collapse? What are we doing? What's going on?
All right, coming in hot. Well, how do you feel about this year's nominees?
Where to even begin? Oh, I know. Why don't we talk about Sinners? That's right, Sinners. Because, of course, leftist woke America's favorite movie this year is about sinning. Huh. Really? Why does that not surprise me? No, sorry, kids. We don't go to church anymore. We go to Sinners. That's the rule. That's the goal now. What are we doing? What's going on?
It's so good, dude.
That is so good. And I don't watch a lot of Tucker. The only Tucker I watch is when he does dumb things. And for news, I got to pull clips of his show. But I mean, just even on my limited knowledge of Tucker Carlson, that dude just freaking nailed it. That is one of the best next to, the Trump impersonator. That's a just great impression. So, yeah, I was cracking up watching that. It's great.
Really good, dude. Yeah, SNL has been good. I thought it's been a good season.
Tucker Carlson with all of this. Like you've been playing with fire for years and now it's apparently about to burn you. So my sympathies are limited. I'm just pointing it out for the newsworthiness and the irony of it all.
Yeah, look, dude, I don't want to see anyone's texts being spied on. Like that's not what America's about. So yeah, if it's happening to you, that sucks, and it shouldn't be happening. But Tucker, go screw yourself. I mean,
yes. And I can't tell you, audience out there, and this is not a joke, like there are so many texts that Nick and I send to each other where I'll say something and then I will say, dear FBI agent reading this, that was satire. Like, I said that for comedic purposes, like, because I know if they're not watching it now, someday it's going to be read back in court. And I just want to put those caveats on there.
Just want it to be stark clear, dude. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, dude, I found something funny that I was watching a video today of Trump talking, and I detected a lie. I know you're going to find that hard to believe, but
detecting truth would be harder to believe.
Yes, you're right. But this one, dude, was so. I was like, oh, I got to go Google that. Something doesn't seem right about that. See if you catch the lie, okay?
Okay.
And if I didn't terminate Barack Hussein Obama's horrible Iran nuclear deal, which I did in my first term, one of the dumbest deals, perhaps the dumbest deal because of the danger involved, you would have had them have a nuclear weapon 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and they would have used it, blown up the Middle East, and they would have then come after us. And if these gorgeous B-2 bombers, give me that bomber, Andrews. Let me just hug that little sucker. Give me that bomber over there. Thank you. You knew immediately which one. This looks small, but in person it's very big. It's the only plane capable of carrying a 200,000-pound bomb. So I don't know how they do it, because it's very sleek and nice, but it carries a lot of weapons and there's a lot of bombs.
Wow. There seems to be multiple contradictions in there. First of all, if the Middle East blows itself up, I don't know how they'd then attack us. Does the bomb really weigh 200,000 pounds? That seems excessive.
Well, I mean, you could put 200,000, collective bombs on there.
Sure. I don't think that's what he was saying, but what was the glaring lie pointed out for us?
The B-2, there is no possible way that it carries 200,000 pounds, that tiny airplane.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I went and Googled it.
The little airplane on his desk? Is that what?
Yeah, and he was like, this is much bigger in person. Like, yeah, dude, we know.
He was just like, Daddy, give me my airplane. Come and give me my airplane, my model airplane.
I want to hug that airplane. 40,000 pounds is what it holds. So, yeah, he was off by quite a bit. 200,000
pounds of a bomb seems awfully scientifically excessive. So
yeah, and he didn't just say it once and then move on from it. He was like, it holds a lot of weight, a lot of weight.
This is like him saying that people have had their legs blown off and now they're walking around out there, or ships that have been sunk or floating at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, all of it. Big things are happening within this country right now that don't get a lot of attention because all this other weird shit is going on. I didn't see this until today. Have you seen anything about the FBI and the UFC teaming up together?
I have, yes. Do you have a little setup for it, or what?
Yeah, here's a little setup for you.
How out of touch are they? It's a question we try to answer here every day. Stay with me on this one. This is another one of those perplexing, eyebrow-raising kind of headlines generated by none other than FBI Director Kash Patel. He has enlisted the help of UFC cage fighters to train FBI agents this weekend at their academy in Quantico, Virginia. Kash Patel is possibly feeling pressure to do something after abusing FBI resources and taxpayer dollars.
Maybe.
Fly to the Olympics and guzzle beer, and then fire dozens of FBI agents and experts with experience in counterintelligence in Iran. But turning to the UFC, run by a close friend of Donald Trump's, is something that Kash Patel brought up on one of his first video calls as director of the FBI. And according to the Wall Street Journal, many officials thought that he was joking. Kash Patel wasn't joking. He doesn't really seem like a joker, does he? Patel sees this weekend as a, quote, tremendous opportunity for the FBI agents where they will, quote, learn and train with some of the greatest athletes on earth.
Yeah. It's cross promotion. They're doing the UFC fight at the White House this summer, right? So,
of course, yeah, it's going to be right on the lawn of the White House, and no athletes have been announced for that cage fight officially, but yeah, he does mention Justin Gaethje to come in and train some of these FBI agents, dude. And I mean, what do you make of this?
Well, I mean, it's all for show, for sure. And it's all just testosterone driven because young white men love the UFC and all that. But I mean, what's the implication? That our FBI agents are not being trained in mixed martial arts or in various ways to fight or defend themselves, or some UFC fighter is going to come in and train them? Not even like the coaches or something? Like,
no,
none of it makes any sense at all.
one of the first thoughts on all of this from professionals who know about this stuff was the risk of over-aggression versus de-escalation training, which we've seen from a lot of ICE agents. Like a lot of these guys in the UFC, love it or hate it, are pumped up on who knows what, but aggression would be one of the things I'd throw into that category.
Yeah.
And you don't deal with the public as a UFC fighter. This makes all the sense of the Trump cabinet. I see Trump signing off on this, being like, yeah, we'll get them to train. They're going to be great.
And by the way, UFC fighters are alone in the cage, and I understand law enforcement can sometimes be alone, but rarely. And secondly, FBI has weapons, they have backup, they have all sorts of resources. If it's coming down to a one-on-one boxing match with mixed martial arts thrown in there, ultimate fighting style, choking out and whatnot, that's a pretty extreme scenario, and I'm not sure why an FBI agent would be alone in that scenario, okay? I mean, some cops end up, pulling up to a scene and they're alone until backup, but FBI agents are rarely out there alone, and they're armed. So you're training them for some obscure scenario where there's one FBI agent, his gun has been taken away, but not used against him, and now it's just down to cage match style.
Yeah, and he just happens to be in an octagon.
Right. And apparently this FBI agent is such a puss that he has no idea how to fight or defend himself because there was no training like that in any of his background.
And can you imagine, dude, the body cam footage from these of he gave him a Superman punch, a flying knee. This is not the best way to fight as an FBI agent.
No, they're kissing Joe Rogan's ass. They want him to commentate the body cam videos and stuff. But something, if you ask me, even more embarrassing came out of that whole little training session. And that is photos circulating on social media showing FBI Director Kash Patel have gained viral attention because people have spotted something in the background. Glossy signed photographs of himself. The images, first shared by United States Air Force James Swan on LinkedIn, appear to show Patel seated at a table with a marker autographing professional photos of himself during a joint training event with the FBI and the UFC in Virginia. Yes, he was signing custom pictures of himself. Dude. Which shows you that he does not think of himself as a serious person either. He thinks he's a celebrity, and he thinks he's out there promoting his brand and whatnot. So he's signing pictures of himself instead of being a serious civil servant, apparently trying to train these agents to save their lives.
Can you imagine James Comey doing this, dude? Signing glossy pictures. This just would never happen. And, I don't know if you remember or not, but if we go back to the day Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Kash Patel was not in Salt Lake City when that happened. Right. He flew there, and the word has it he wouldn't get out of the plane until someone gave him an FBI jacket with a proper patch on it, and he ended up for photo op, and he ended up getting one from one of the ladies in the FBI to wear her coat. He does. This is all cosplay to him, dude.
Yes, it's like the episode of The Office when Steve Carell bought the woman's suit and he didn't realize it.
Yes,
someone pointed out, it doesn't have pockets, does it? That's a woman's suit you're wearing. And yes, Kash Patel was wearing a woman's jacket, and but he tries to pretend like he's a serious head of the FBI, a serious hardworking civil servant, yet signing headshots at his stupid fucking UFC cross-training event.
Same shit when Charlie Kirk died. I'll see you in Valhalla, my friend.
Yes.
What the fuck, bro?
Exactly. See you in Valhalla. Yes. So this is the guy in charge of domestic homeland security there, along with, all the other idiots, Tulsi Gabbard and the new and improved Kristi Noem, Mark Wayne.
Yes, Mark Wayne. Well, we haven't heard anything. It's been pretty slow in the regards to Mark Wayne. I thought he would have fucked up by now.
Well, I don't even know if he's officially started, but we'll see.
That's fair.
And, while we're worried about Iran attacking here on the homeland soil, and we're training our FBI agents to be UFC, stars, who does Trump want to punish right now? Nick, he would like to punish, you and me, the media. Sure. Everyone from Midas Touch to CNN and everyone in between. They have declared a war on media outlets. He has told his head of the FCC, Andrew Carr, to start taking away licenses. If this media is going to report the truth and make us look bad because we blew up a bunch of school kids, that yes, we should be clamping down on the media, the free press, the unofficial fourth branch of government. Yeah. And I find it a little funny. You and I came from radio, so we were, under the FCC's thumb forever. And we were under the FCC's thumb, much like broadcast television, because the only thing the FCC can control is people that have broadcast, transmitters.
Yeah.
If we're broadcasting over the public airwaves, the government, because the airwaves are a public commodity, gets to regulate it. They really don't get to regulate content except obscene content. But that's who they get to regulate. Yet Trump and Carr are pointing out people like CNN, the Washington Post. Like, these are people that the FCC needs to go after. They have no jurisdiction over a cable news network. They don't have a transmitter. And obviously newspapers don't transmit anything. So I don't even know if Trump understands what the FCC is.
Yeah, I think it's, for him, it's like anything. He just wants to play with it, and ultimately, I'm the president. I have all the power. I can do whatever I want type of shit, But, it just, the radio it can be controlled by the FCC, yes, because of the transmitter, but also someone can listen. It doesn't cost anything to listen. Anyone can have access to it.
Correct.
Even a newspaper, even, this podcast, yes, it's free, but you got to pay for the internet. You got to be able to do it. You cannot do that to this type of media. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe they'll have to change that. But yeah, as of now, he just wants to play with shit, dude. And I'm the president. I can do anything I want.
Right. Including, apparently, murdering journalists.
What do you mean?
Well, thank you for setting me up. Over the weekend, Trump took to Truth Social to accuse news organizations of treason, a crime that can carry the death penalty, for allegedly spreading Iranian disinformation about the war. The supposed offense, reporting on claims circulating online that a U.S. aircraft carrier had been destroyed in an Iranian attack. Now, let me just pause right there. Have you heard that story? That one of our aircraft carriers was destroyed by Iran?
I haven't.
I haven't either. And do you know why you haven't heard about it?
Because it didn't happen, or it was suppressed. What is it?
It didn't happen. It's a bullshit AI story circulating, and the real news media fact-checked it and didn't run with it. So, yeah, there was one problem. As CNN's Daniel Dale noted, there's little evidence that any major news organization actually reported on that AI-generated video that Trump is raging about. The media actually did their job and fact-checked something, unlike our federal government that shares bullshit propaganda all the time.
So Trump saw the video and just ran with it and was like, these people will be punished.
He saw it online, so the media is covering this. So this is an act of treason. We should not only be taking licenses, but apparently we should be publicly executing journalists that reported on it. But again, they didn't report on it.
That is so fantastic, dude. I mean, this is the same guy who reposted med beds when they came out. It was all AI. Like, he does not know the difference. He doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tear here. It was an AI generated video all over Facebook, and it is a real problem. Even Elon Musk has said recently, like, we got to rein in all of this fake war footage because it is everywhere, and I do see it a lot, and I fact check it all because you just can't tell anymore. And honestly, like 8 out of 10 videos are fake.
Look at this example of, I believe this is the BBC who put this together, of real versus fake video of war footage. See if you can tell right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is real. This isn't. This is real. This isn't.
Jeez.
AI fakes are flooding our feeds about the US-Israel war on Iran. This video got 70 million views, claiming to show an Iranian missile attacking a US fighter jet, but it's actually footage from a video game. Some fake videos like this one are more obvious. The fireworks here are out of place, but a still from the same video is much more convincing. Compare this with the real photo, which we have verified, which shows smoke rising, not a fireball. And this is real footage of a strike on a US naval base in Bahrain on Saturday. In the aftermath, a post with this satellite image claimed to show destroyed US radar equipment, but it's an AI fake. The image was based on a Google Maps satellite view from last year. and these cars are in the exact same position. We're only a few days into this war. The amount of fake videos and misinformation circulating isn't like anything we've seen before. Fake videos.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it really is nuts, dude. That I mean, especially if you're scrolling on your phone, dude, a lot, you're like, it looks real to me. I've never been in a battle zone.
Right. And yes, the White House is not helping by putting out propaganda video where they mix Call of Duty next to real footage like that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, people, you can rail on the mainstream media all you want, okay? Like, there is some demonization that's appropriate in there. There maybe is some bias here and there. I mean, I'm not talking about like Fox News, that's clear bias, but some people try to claim that, PBS is biased or NBC is biased. Like, I would argue with you, bitterly about that. But these are the people that right now are putting the time and effort into fact-checking this kind of stuff and putting out the correct information. If we did not have these money-making news organizations doing some of this work, we would never see the real thing, and you would never know you're seeing a fake thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And even Google that you go to fact check. Google, yes, Google's a gigantic corporation, but you need that to have those sorts of resources to be able to provide that kind of service.
Yes. And you need several of them. If one makes an error, you can check somewhere else and start to find out the real story. But yeah, this is crazy that maybe he should roll down on the reporters of that fake news, which is AI. Maybe you should be putting some regulation on this fucking AI that is, for lack of a better term, exploding into our world at an outrageous pace. And it is dangerous, dude.
Yep. It's the classic, we protect free speech in America, but you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, right? Some speech becomes dangerous, and then that speech is actually regulated and illegal. Yeah. So is AI a great tool for freedom of speech and expression and comedy and satire and all that? Sure. But when somebody is using it to yell fire in a crowded theater, that is dangerous. That should be illegal to some freaking extent. And if you're not going to prosecute the individual, you got to prosecute the platform that is not immediately taking that shit down once it's been flagged.
Yeah.
And not just a little community, no, this is AI or this could be no, fucking remove it.
Take it down, dude. If our president of the United States of America is reposting shit like that, I know he's dumb, dude, but there's a lot of his voters that are even dumber than he is. That's a terrifying thought. But they're all reposting that shit.
Yeah, nope, spot on.
So
a lot of stuff. I just noticed we're over time here. Do we got anything else we want to throw out? Because we could keep going all day, people.
Hey, dude, did you hear? Can I ask you about this? There's a guy that is complaining in Texas that meth is no longer made in America. This is a funny clip.
Meth great again.
Yeah, make meth great again.
The flood of Mexican meth, Mexican heroin, Mexican fentanyl. 20 years ago in Montana, meth was homemade. It was homegrown. And it had purity levels less than 30%.
It had real sugar.
Today, the meth that is getting into Montana is Mexican cartel.
Yeah, it's out of control, dude.
So he's advocating to make meth in America again.
Yes,
yeah, we did export a lot of that work. You're right. Bring those jobs back.
Yes, dude. Make Montana, make meth great again, dude. I think what he's saying.
We need to reboot Breaking Bad and start making meth domestically again. Make Bryan Cranston the head of the DEA or something. Like, let's get these jobs back here in America.
That's Trump's next move, I'm sure.
What the fuck is going on in this country?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
God.
Well,
all right then.
Yep, that'll do it. Hey, guys, thanks for taking part in the conversation today, and keep getting vocal out there. It's all we could do as of now. Winston Sayer, meth, we're on it.
Yeah. Go to thevocalminority.net. It's our website if you want to message us directly. And yes, like all of the content. Give it a butt plug up, because I guess that's what that is. Yep. And follow everything going on here on the Really American platform. We are independent journalism and commentary and satire. We're trying to cover the undercovered things and the big stories. So support it all. Check out the Really American podcast that Kenny and Chip and Tony and the other crew are doing here as well.
Yes, and keep in mind, we do this podcast for you twice a week, so we'll be back on Friday. Until then, ladies and gents, have a good rest of your night.
Hello, guys.
Happy St. Patty's Day. You're right, Steve.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we say bye-bye.